Okay, so for my number 5 pick, I have chosen the Nightmare Man himself, Freddy Krueger, from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. There's just no saying why he shouldn't be on the list. I know that James isn't counting any supernatural slashers in his list, but I sure am. That's why Freddy Krueger is at number 5. First of all, it's from the Nightmare on Elm Street series, which is such a good franchise, except for maybe a couple of the last films. Like Freddy's Dead, nobody liked Freddy's Dead because they just turned the franchise from a horror into a comedy, and it just doesn't work. I mean, literally at the start, like the opening scene of Freddy's Dead has him as a witch with the Wizard of Oz music playing in the background. I mean, it's just not needed, is it? Apart from that, though, he's such a good killer. I mean, his iconic glove is just, it's just in horror history. It's so iconic. And his hat and stripy red and black t-shirt, so good as well. I mean, how can't you like Freddy? He's an icon to horror and just pop culture in general. That's why Freddy Krueger is at number 5 on my list. Straight back to James.
At number 5, I know I said that I didn't want to have any really supernatural killers on this list, but I'm going to make an exception for Chucky because basically, he's not really supernatural at all. He is, at heart, he is a humanoid in a doll's body. He has human strength. He is as quick as a human, as strong as a human, as smart as a human. He's just really just trapped in a doll body, and throughout the first couple movies, he even just wants to be a human again. So I think that's enough at least to qualify Chucky on this list, but also, I mean, come on, it's Chucky. You can't have a list of the best slashers and not have Chucky on the list. Yeah, Chucky, he's gotta be on the list.
Okay, so for number 4 on my list, I have Norman Bates from Psycho. I mean, seriously, it's Psycho and it's Norman Bates. Seriously, Psycho pretty much started the slasher genre, made by Alfred Hitchcock, which is already a no-brainer, great film. I mean, Alfred has made so many good films. How can you not love Psycho out of all of them? And that shower scene, so iconic, where you can see a shadow walking up to the shower, and that iconic music when he's stabbing the girl, like a it's just so iconic, that scene. Norman Bates is a really cool killer as well, and in my opinion, a bit like Jack Torrance. That's why my number 4 spot, I have picked Norman Bates from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Let's go see what James's is.
At number 4 is going to be Alice Spages from Alice Sweet Alice, because she is a slasher villain who knows her victims, knows who to kill, knows why she's killing them, and they all freaking deserve it. Maybe with the exception of her sister in the opening scene, all of the people that she kills are assholes or just creepy and weird throughout the film. Looking at you, Alfonso, oh my god, did you deserve what you got in that film? She's just another really cool villain, and she's this high up because also she's a little girl doing all of these killings, killing these massive adults, and she's just going around just murdering them. She also has a really cool look. She's got the iconic translucent mask and the yellow raincoat, going around just mercilessly killing people at her sister's first communion. I love Alice Sweet Alice, and Alice Spages, to me, is probably the reason for it, and she belongs on this list.
Okay, and so for my number 3 pick, I have the man himself, Mama's Boy, Jason Voorhees, from the Friday the 13th franchise. I mean, come on. It's literally a no-brainer. He's so iconic. Most people love him. Or should I say, pretty much everyone that likes horror knows him, and even people that don't like horror know who Jason Voorhees is. Although they might get him mixed up with Michael Myers, which I personally find really annoying. Anyway, it's Jason Voorhees, Mama's boy. I mean, in the first Friday film, it wasn't Jason that was killing, but after that, all the films are about him except maybe Jason Goes to Hell, but we don't talk about that on this channel. But yeah, it's bloody Jason Voorhees. He's so iconic, he's so cool. Pretty much everybody knows him. Especially like, in each pretty much film, he has to get a new weapon. Obviously, his most iconic weapon being his machete. But yeah, number 4 was Friday the 13th, or number 3, I'm not fully sure. Let me just check. Anyway, back onto James.
Number 3 is going to be Michael Myers. How could you not have Michael Myers on this list? He's Michael Myers. He's Michael freaking Myers. Of course he's going to be on this list. He goes around, you all know by now, you should know if you're watching this video, Halloween, Michael Myers, it's Halloween night, he goes around killing people on Haddonfield on Halloween night, 1978. The mask is iconic. It is everywhere. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, horror mask of all time. Of course, with the trucker outfit. And he just goes around and just kills people. There is no motive, at least in the first movie. And also, 2018 and the 2 upcoming sequels, there's no motive. He kills because he feels like it, basically. And that's all you really need in order to start a slasher franchise. A guy who just wants to kill, so he's gonna do it. And Michael Myers is the perfect example that he is the perfect example of a slasher villain. Anybody who you ask to name a slasher villain, probably the first answer that comes to mind is gonna be Jason, but second up is always gonna be Michael Myers, and because of that, I mean, come on, it's Michael Myers. It's Michael Myers. He's gonna be on this list, and he's gonna be high up.
For number 2, we have the Predator. That stinks of latex. Anyway, number 2, the Predator. I mean, I'm a huge Predator fan. How could he not be on this list? Especially so far to number 1. Like, come on. I have a whole shelf up here dedicated to the Predator. You can't see it, but I've got so much Neckers and Funko Pops and stuff like that up there. Just about a Predator. He's such a cool killer. He's got so many weapons and so many great kills as well. Most of his best outfits have been in the first film and the third film. And AVP, the other films aren't that good, really, to be honest. His weapons, though, he's got so many weapons, from his plasma caster to his wrist gauntlet to his acid nets. He's got so much stuff. How can you not like the Predator? Yet again, he's an alien. He still kind of counts as a slasher. He's just an outer space alien slasher, I guess. But yeah, at number 2 we have the Predator. Let's see what James's number 2 is.
At number 2, we've got Billy from Black Christmas. I love Billy from Black Christmas because you never see him throughout the entire movie. There are lots of movies where you don't see the villain the entire time, and then it's a little bit lame, it's a little bit weak when the ending happens and the villain's just kind of disappointing, or he just starts showing up all willy-nilly. Black Christmas, that problem is nowhere. You only ever see his eye, and there's one scene where you kind of get an outline of his silhouette, but you only ever see his eye in the movie 2 times, and he has some of the most brutal and creepy kills of all time. He stabs the girl with the unicorn. He's just such a crazy and messed up killer, and the ending is absolutely insane. When it pulls back, you think Billy's dead, but then the phone rings again, and that's how the movie ends. Billy is such an icon, the star of the slasher movie that started it all, Black Christmas, and he's got to be on this list at number 2.
Okay, so for my number 1 pick for my absolute favourite slasher villain of all time has to go to Michael Myers. I mean, it's Michael Myers. What were you suspecting? Believe a creeper or something like that. But yeah, Michael goes for number 1 for me because most of his films are great. I can't wait for Halloween Kills. It's coming out. I wish I could watch, but age restrictions, which is very sad. I don't have Peacock. But yeah, Halloween. It's iconic. It's all over pop culture. I mean, who doesn't look at like a bit of Halloween? Like, who's not going to watch Halloween near Halloween because it's literally called Halloween, so you have to watch on Halloween or something like that, I guess. And he's such a cool character with such good kills, especially with Laurie as a survivor girl. I mean, what isn't to love about Halloween? Especially Michael Myers' design, it's so simple and plain, but it works so well with his blue kind of overall, and then his Star Trek, I forgot what he's called, but the kind of white Star Trek mask. It works so well, it's so atmospheric. Who doesn't like a bit of Michael Myers? I mean, he's so iconic. Obviously with his kitchen knife being his main weapon. He's just so cool and badass.
But coming in at number 1 for me is going to be Anthony Perkins' Norman Bates, because basically, he's never been bad. All of these guys on this list, at least the guys with sequels, have had their fair ration of shit. You know, Michael Myers, he had Halloween 5, Halloween 6, Halloween Resurrection, Jason, you know, he had Friday the 13th Part 3, Jason Goes to Hell, all those just weird things, you know? It's just so weird. But Anthony Perkins has never failed as Norman Bates. Not in Psycho, where he's an awesome, really humble, awkward character, and you really don't suspect him as the killer at all until the very, very end where he shows himself. And then in Psycho 2, he's even more layered, he's getting kind of tricked, and he comes back out of prison 22 years later. It's awesome. And then Psycho 3 is basically Psycho, but with more of Norman Bates just running roughshod through this town. It's so gory. I love getting to see him talking in his mother's voice in Psycho 3, and then Psycho 4, he gets the perfect send-off. I love the Psycho franchise. In my opinion, it is the single greatest stretch of continuity in horror history, and Norman Bates, for me, comes in at number 1.
Okay, before the video ends, I just want to say, it was originally going to be a top 10. We had everything filmed. The sad thing was, though, my phone, it's really shite storage, so I sadly wasn't able to upload a video, so I had to cut it down to a top 5. Still though, I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe and comment down some videos ideas I should do. And big thanks to James as well from Wanna Play for collabing with me and having time to do that. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. Apart from that, I'll see you all later. Goodbye.